Just ladies, good team over there, Ball State. Just what transpired in the overtime that you got to through regulation, you get to overtime. Just what happened in the last 5 minutes.
I would say we just had some miscommunications on defense a little bit, and then they were able to speed us up on offense a little bit. So we got a little flustered, missed some shots late in the game that would change some stuff. I mean, before OT, we just missed some box outs that led to offensive rebounds. So end of the day, it's their extra effort that gave them that win.
Okay, considering the opponent, Ball State, they only have 2 losses. What were you guys able to do well throughout the first 4 quarters to almost win the game?
We were able to find our open people. We were able to move the ball well. We all shared the ball really well. And then we were just able to capitalize on their mistakes on defense.
Yeah, I'd say their press gave us a little bit of a issue early on, but our guards were able to figure it out, get downhill a little bit, beat their defender one-on-one, and then that led to our kickouts, or even I know Mulhaney had some nice coast-to-coast right down the lane that helped our momentum go forward.
You're 5-7, I believe now, right? But I mean, it seems like things are going well. Just where do you feel like the team is, just through 2 games in the Mid-American Conference for either one of you?
I mean, it's a brand new team. Majority of this team has never played in the MAC before, so it's getting used to it a little bit. It's a whole nother level of competition, competitive side. So I think we're building and we're growing each game, and that's really showed today, just from our one Ohio game. So, I mean, it's just steps moving forward. We're just uphill from here.
For both of you, you both reached double figures today in scoring. Morgan scored double figures. Just what's the vibe in the locker room as you go into the next game on Wednesday?
The vibe in the locker room is to not dwell on this loss and to move forward for next game and just to work on the things that we weren't able to handle well today going forward.
Reagan gets another double-double. What have you seen out of her? This is your first year as her teammate. What have you seen on her production, points, rebounds, block shots, all that good stuff?
She's a hard worker. She's able to score and she's able to rebound just because of how hard she works all the time and how much we rely on her and how she's just a supportive teammate.
For you, this is your first year in the MAC, only 2 games in, obviously. First year with the program. What's it been like for you adjusting from Middle Tennessee State to here?
I would say the biggest adjustment is coaching style. I've always been used to an aggressive defense up the line, and Coach Ryan, he likes a pack line. I would say this conference is a lot tougher than Conference USA, also a lot of competition.
Okay. And for you, Reagan, another double-double. We talked about that before, but just how much does that mean to you, and how hard is that to do every single game out when people know what you bring to the table?
Yeah, it's all effort, but I like to think that's not really what I'm going for. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going out there to play hard, and in the day, if I end up drawing 4, my teammates are open, and I trust them to do the job as well.
Yeah, I thought it was a really, highly contested, MAC basketball game, and I think that's what you're going to get, in this league. And credit to Ball State. I thought, they did a really good job of their press and ball pressure, which they're known for, and it's tough to simulate that. But credit to them. Those points off of turnovers are an issue for us, and they have been, and they hurt us at times. But I thought our team's resolve was really strong, and I challenged them before the game to be the more physical team, and I thought we were for the most part. But at the end of the day, you've got to make some plays late. You've got to get some defensive rebounds. You need a couple things to go your way by way of execution, and unfortunately we didn't execute as well late, and they made a couple more plays there in overtime.
Coach, that team over there, Ball State, has 2 losses. Notre Dame, Connecticut, both top 25 programs. Akron almost was on that list here, defeating them. Just, what are some of the things that you're proud of and happy about that you guys can build upon moving into Wednesday?
I think the biggest thing is just how process-driven we are. We wanted to respond from the Ohio game the other night, and I thought our players were really locked in over the preparation as we kind of go through this, rhythm of MAC play now, and they fight. That's the part that I'm really just proud of. When we're playing hard and we're playing together and we're playing for each other, I thought that was probably one of the most collected efforts of that all season on both ends of the court. And I told them in the locker room, you showed what you can do, but now you got to do it throughout the league. We've only played 12 games. We've got 16 left on the schedule, and MAC play, I believe, right? It's an 18-game schedule. So we've got to be able to carry that through, that effort, that process, that recovery, on Wednesday nights on the road, whoever you're playing.
We've talked about Reagan Bass, and we can talk about her some more. She's the only player in Division I averaging 20 points, 11 rebounds. Just what have you seen out of her consistently where other teams, they know, hey, we got to slow this kid down, and they don't really slow her down?
It's hard. It's an effort thing. I mean, there was a play in the second half that they threw three at her. I thought she was trying to kick it out, and she stepped through, and got it up there. And she just fights. And, I think it's a credit to her on the offensive rebounds as well. She's been versatile to be able to catch it in different areas. We're trying to avoid some double teams and not be as patterned on where the ball is coming in so teams can load up. And she's done a really good job of being flexible of where we've put her, to be in positions to look to score. And I thought today, especially, like we didn't force it into her at times. Would we have wanted to get it in a few more times? Absolutely. But we played off of her well. And I thought, the ones that she took were good. And, I know it only says 9 field goal attempts, but she got to the line 11 times. Some of those are canceled out on some of those attempts of, being able to feed that fire. And I thought we played really well off of each other tonight.
As far as personality-wise, do you feel like is she an extension of the coaching staff onto the floor with her experience and her level of play?
I think the kids look at her. Our players definitely look at her as, maybe not a total extension, but there's experience behind what she does, and they know the work ethic's there. And as we've talked ad nauseum, like when one of your better players is your hardest worker, people will pay attention. But she has experience through this league and experience through these things. Even talking about the press break against Ball State and a couple different options in practice, and a couple of our new kids were like, well, if the traps are here, why don't we use this? And Reagan's like, sometimes they're just random guys. You got to trust coach on this one, that they are random. You can't dance with Nyla Hampton. Like, she's going to pick you. I know it's not going to feel like it, but she picks her spots. And so I think, it's those kind of things that she reinforces that's helpful for us.
Nyla had 6 steals tonight, too. Yeah, just looking at that. As far as the double-figure scoring with Lene, with Morgan, Lene's been able to contribute here more lately. What have you seen out of her to make an impact?
It's always been about Lene's defense and rebounding for us, and as far as her biggest growth opportunity. She's a very talented offensive player and a very versatile offensive player, as you saw today, able to go off the bounce, able to score with her back to the basket, able to knock down an open three or an open jump shot. So when those things are cooking, that's great, but they, teams still want to try to put her in binds defensively. And I thought today she did an unbelievable job in her level of communication and her effort defensively has gotten better as the season's gone on. And that will continue to be a growth area for her. And when that matches the versatility of what she's able to do on the offensive end, we'll be cooking. And then, certainly, Mo having a great game, today. It's no surprise when she can play off the ball a little bit and set her feet. She's in great shape.
Yeah, and I mean, Morgan and Kaya made that layup there that was huge. What do you see on those two young ladies?
Yeah, it's an experience thing for Kai. She's grown, throughout the season. She threw up twice on the back. I mean, she was exhausted, like today. Yeah, she threw up twice during the game. She was worked. And I'm telling her, for her size to be able to pass against the press sometimes is a little challenging, right? Just functionally. So she had to attack the outside hips of some players and do that with her eyes up. And, so she got overworked a little bit. And but I thought she did a good job, at times in the game of being able to get the ball to our shooters or, be able to get a paint touch and kick out. Or if you do see a clear lane, to get to the basket. So as we continue to coach her in the areas that she needs to grow of playing in straight lines and playing under control, she's growing tremendously.
Okay. And Morgan Haney, if you could comment about her and just what she's been doing for you guys.
Just the versatility piece. I mean, to have an experienced player like that, to be able to handle the ball in certain situations, that there's a comfort of her being able to get us into our offense. There's a comfort of her of being able to, play with some size, once she gets into the paint, draw or, score around. And she kind of knows the spots of like when to take to the basket and not. So it's really nice when you've got some experience. You know, a Reagan who's played a lot. You know, Morgan has played a lot of minutes. And now as these younger players, minutes-wise, mature and add to their minutes, we're seeing some good complementary basketball. Good. Thank you, guys.